Hello everyone and welcome to SRS Round 4 Tier 2. We drive around Interlagos tonight for a 10th race that's gonna be a lot of high tire wear. Just waiting for everyone to ready up. Then we'll start in 5 minutes. Yeah, cool, I saw the site. Yeah, it looks really good. How many drivers are there in total, you know, or? Ah, 25, that's a good amount. Let that just be Palmer's Racing, no, I'm just kidding. Alright, we start in about 3.5 minutes. Would be good to see 30 plus people. Hey Matt, welcome to the stream. Harry is saying good luck to everyone, especially Doug, of course being his teammate. Getting some good points for the team. Doug will of course be aiming for a high position to get some good points. Keep the momentum going that he's had in the last couple of races. I think we got everyone in. Yes, we have. Just a quick check if everything's alright. Yes, it is. So we'll be starting the race now just a bit earlier. Everyone's in, everyone's fine, so. Everyone mentally preparing for the qualifying to put in their best possible laps, of course. And Doug is going to be the first one out, leading the pack. Everyone getting out of the pits very nicely. No big glitch. B8 tailing the field in a very nice livery in the Honda. The 34 car. As Doug approaches the last corner, we'll ride on board with him for the full lap in cockpit mode. Doug taking a very nice line through turn 1, 2 and 3, leading him nicely into turn 4. Going up to the difficult turn 6, long right-hander. You really need to know when to get the throttle down. And then difficult braking zone. Another difficult braking zone as the car gets unstable. Then here it's really difficult to find your best line. You can get a wider angle, but that will put you in risk of putting your tire on the grass on the outside, which you do not want because you will spin. Going through last corner. You want to focus on the exit, which Doug didn't do, so that's gonna compromise him a bit on the straight. Let's see what kind of lap times they're doing. 31.4. That's a decent lap time to begin with. Petrolhead getting really close with 14,000 behind Doug. So everyone's finishing their laps. Last to come across the line is B8, which will mean Doug Barrow leads to Petrolhead, to Bo, to Bar, to Quinn, to Superboy, to BA, to IFS, and he leads to Luke. Will the drivers be able to improve on the lap time with worn tires or not? We're gonna see it. Doug taking a better line this time. Already 3 tenths down, so that's going to be difficult to make up in the last corner. As he dives into the pit lane for new tires. He wouldn't improve on his lap anyway, as Bar jumps in with 13,000 as he smashes into Bo. That will be looked into. Bar leading with 13,000 to Doug Barrow with an amazing lap time of 1:31.464. Grinner improving on his lap time as a train of cars begins to B8 getting held up a bit by the Dutchman in the Ferrari. Getting a nice tail along the straight. as Luke defends his position. It starts to look like Monza Q3. Everyone racing and qualifying. As Barr and Doug Barrow go alongside as well, which compromises their laps as well as the one from Superboy. As probably a lot of them will be pulling into the pit stop now to get new tires, to get their fastest push lap. Doug Barrow of course will be staying out together with Superboy to get a faster lap. I don't think Superboy can get another fastest lap without new tires, as the tires degrade really quickly here. Doug taking a lot of curb to turn 3, apologies. Fastest by 2/10 in the first sector. He goes a bit wide in turn 4, taking a lot of curb in turn 5 to optimize his racing line. Then the car gets a bit unstable here because of the quick weight change. Doug missing the apex by quite a margin, 4.5 tenths up. Coming out of the last corner, better run than the first lap. Doug really sticking to the inside. What time is it gonna be? It's gonna be a 1:31.2, leading with 2/10 to Barr, who is gonna put in a lap very shortly. As he get hit from behind by Petrolhead in the Jaguar, and they tap again. Barr lets Petrolhead by, which is probably the smart thing to do, as seeing what happened the 2 times before they met. Top 3 split by 2.5 tenths of a second. As the tier 1 guys are putting in their fastest laps now. Petrolhead is preparing for his last flying lap. 30 seconds on the clock, so most of the drivers will have another lap. Bova Shadar improves to P4 with 1.5 tenths behind Petrolhead. As Quinner goes into P2 with an amazing lap to be only 5 thousandths behind Doug Barrow. Just putting in the lap before the timer goes off. So it's only 5 thousandths difference between P1 and P2. Really close stuff. Harris saying, "Oh my god, yeah, that was a really close lap." I bet both Doug and Quinn are gonna try to improve on their lap to cover each other off. As Doug comes to the line, is he gonna improve on his lap? No, he isn't with 2/10. What's Quinn gonna do? As his engine shortly cut out for me. Bofashidara improves to P5, driving alongside Superboy. As no one improves, so the tire wear really kicking in, and the driver's not being able to put in another faster lap. And that's qualifying round. So it's Doug leading Quinn with a 5,000 gap to Bar, Petrolhead and Bofashidara. Then Bofashidara leading B8 UTAP, leading Superboy, leading IFS, who is ahead of Luke. As we need to back out surely. Doug Barrow gets a very good start. Quinn, of course, in the Porsche not getting a good start. Of course, one of the trademarks of the Porsche, as Quinn runs deep, but by doing so, he gets P3. So it's Doug Barrow leading Bar to Quinn, to Bo, to Petrolhead, to Superboy, to IFS, BA, and SDN Luke. As it's really getting close here. Everyone braking nice and early, a little bit of contact between the two teammates. BA trying to get involved within the teammate battle. As Doug, Bar and Quinn are really already trying to get a gap to the guys behind. Of course, with the change of the slipstream, which is now 8/10ths of a second, you want to try to get out of the 8/10ths. So quick sit wrap for tier 1. It's at the moment in quali, it's SMN Palmer leading to Cabales, to Swift, to Uray, to James Head, to Splash, to Viper, who leads to TSR T5 Black. As it's really close between Petrolhead and Bofashidara, of course. Bo getting in his new car, trying to get used to his new car, with a great livery, of course. Bar catching up to Doug Barrows, like as Bo runs wide. Bo really pushing a lot and therefore making a few mistakes. Of course, he would want to catch up to Quinn, who's in his place trying to catch up to Bar, who is now really close behind Doug. 4.5 tenths. So he's gonna try to get him on the draw. Maybe if he's really brave, he's gonna try something on the brakes here. As he puts in the fast lap, 1:31.2. Really getting close to the grass. Putting a lot of risk to get close to Doug, who has a really good exit coming out of turn 1. Turn 2, apologies. Doug Barrow taking it easy at this stage. He knows its speed, so he doesn't want to pull off something weird. Superboy now on the back of Petrolhead and Bo Shidara. As Petrolhead is looking for the inside of the corner there, as they make a little bit of contact on the braking. Bo taking a lot of risk through that corner. As Luke has unfortunately left. Oh, internet, yep. That's a common issue in the Netherlands. Surely it's gonna be Siggo. Last game, same issue, yeah. Can be a big issue under PlayStation international servers. As Bo is really trying to defend his position, trying to catch up to Quinna. As Bo is really holding up Petrolhead now. He's trying to look for a way. As Bo runs deep, he goes side by side. Bo will have that because of the camber of the corner being in his favor. Some real gaps starting to form. As Petrolhead runs wide, you don't want to do that too often. That's a big risk. Bar now really close to Doug. He's gonna get him probably on the slipstream here. Quick update in Tier 1. It was T5 Black getting pole position. Again, Doug really taking a lot of risk going getting out of turn 2. Really getting a good exit. As Superboy is now really on the back of both Shidara, who switched with Petrolhead, so Petrolhead probably making a mistake somewhere. As it gets really close. Bo just dropping behind Superboy. Oh, as Bo sends it up the inside of Superboy, they make contact. As Petrolhead now is also catching up a little bit to Bo after the incident. Seems to be seems to get every closer every lap as Doug goes defensive to the outside, losing him time because of the wider line. Seeing the way he pulled out, he probably wants to be behind, but as Bar runs deep, meaning that Doug can just take his normal line and he will remain ahead. Bar losing out about 6/10 through that corner. Oh, as Bar makes a mistake, running him wide, costing him even more time. field really spreading out now. So, little update in Tier 1, it's SMM Palmer leading Swift and Side Mix 1-2, leading D5 Black, who fell down to 3rd from pole position, leading SMM Uray, leading SDM Viper to Cabales to Splash to James Head in P8. A really big gap starting to form between Bar and Doug. It's pretty much everyone is about a second or more from each other. And this is the point where strategy is coming into hand. Really important who saves more fuel and who has the better tires. As Doug and Bar look about the same, Doug a little bit more fuel. Quinner really a lot more fuel than Bar. Also a lot better tires. And oh, Superboy making a mistake and has a lot less fuel, so he will lose out here and in the pit stop. Also getting a penalty for running wide there, which cost him even more time. So Bo's gonna try to push to get close to him. And Petrolhead trying to recover after his mistake. B8 UTAP holding on behind, and IFS trying to push. Oh, squirrely out of the exit. About 9/10 behind Superboy. Bo's gonna try and get close on the draft. As the McLaren really loses out to the Corvette on the straight, of course. The straight line speed of the Corvette being really good as Superboy runs a bit deep, costing him time, making Bo get closer to him. Bo now within half a second of Superboy. Of course with the dirty air, as Superboy makes another mistake. Of course Bo gonna try to hold on in this section where you get a lot of dirty air making you understeer and oversteer. And then try and attack on the main straight with the toe. Oh, as Bar makes a mistake, nearly losing it. Getting a half a second penalty and dropping down. That's gonna cost him a lot of time. Winner, 3rd position, just trying to hold on to P3 to get his first podium. Petrolhead now really catching up to Bo, who's really catching up to Superboy. Racer saying, oh my god, Bar, yeah, that was really close. As the first pit stop, now Akios. IFS switching to new softs, taking some fuel with him. So he's probably gonna try to do the 3-stop. As he takes the medium tires, okay, so he's gonna try to go longer this time. That's interesting. I don't think the mediums work very well. Tire on the soft is quite bad, so it may pay off, but the performance on the mediums is just not good enough. As Petrolhead now really is close to both of Shadara. Probably trying to look for a move going down the straight here on the McLaren. As the Jaguar is a lot faster than the McLaren on the straight. Oh, as Bo has a massive moment. Oh, as Bo's. Oh, that's not good. Okay. So Petrolhead T-bones both for Shadara, who had a moment and spun at the last corner. Going wide, going onto the grass there, and it instantly spins you. Also getting a half a second penalty, which is not what he needs. Of course, instantly jumping into the pit to go for the 3-stop. That's really unfortunate. Also, Petrolhead now having to catch up to Superboy again after his run was compromised. Doug now really looking confident for P1. Of course, he wants to try and get some good points for the team, as Hellraiser is obviously not racing it. Petrolhead really catching up as the tires now for everyone are starting to fall off. As Doug looks very good on his tire wear. I don't know how he does that on a controller, but that's very good. Quinner now having to deal with a lot of tire wear, seeing him slide around a lot. As we'll probably see him go into the pits now, following Doug, following a bar. Quinner with a lot of fuel left. Superboy actually with not a lot of fuel left, with 26 liters. BU Tap also following him in, as Doug now exited the pit lane. Quinn are also going to the medium, so he is gonna try the alternative strategy. I'm not sure if that's gonna work, but as I said earlier, the tire wear on the soft might be quite high, but the mediums are really slow. A big gap between Doug and Boris. Doug is taking in a lot less fuel, so obviously he's trying to do something else in the strategy. Both of them on the soft, so Doug probably wants the lighter car to be able to attack more. Then Bar just wants to get out of sync with the rest of the field. Actually, Petrolhead now on the back of Quinner. You can just see the difference of grip between the soft tires and the medium tires. Of course, the Porsche being the better car in the corner, but just not turning in with the medium tires. As Petrolhead now makes the move, shifts up really early, as there is a little bit of lag between the two. As Petrolhead runs wide, Quinner trying to get back at him. Superboy looking if there's something to get here. He might just get Petrolhead on the draft here. Petrolhead in terms looking at Quinn. Superboy getting squeezed off by Petrolhead, who nearly spun it. 5/10 penalty as well to make matters worse. He really won't be happy about that. As Petrolhead now goes a little bit wider to get a different line to carry more speed into the exit. Looking up the inside not working there. Also having a little look there, which scares Quinner to go deeper. So Petrolhead will have the better line here. Quinner really suffering on the mediums. The pace is just not on it. Defending well, obviously, with a little bit of lag. Tier 1 updates, 47 minutes to go. Palmer to T5 Black to Swift to Uray to Viper. Yeah, I've got the stream up on my second screen as well. As Viper and James are fighting for P5. Quinner now with a half a second penalty, trying to gap back to Superboy and Petrolhead, which is gonna be difficult on the mediums. Bo Fishadora, who is gonna try to get back after the mistake he made. Nearly a 7-second gap between Doug and Bar, obviously on different strategy, with the Bar having a lot less fuel, about 25%. As Doug now puts in his fastest lap with a 1:31.320, just about 300ths of a second down on the fastest lap, who has been put in by Bar. Superboy now trying to get on the back of Petrolhead, who is taking a really different line. As someone spins. That's IAPS, unfortunately. So IAPS now lost with a lot of margin to make up towards BAU tap. Bo Fishadora also overtaking Quinner, so that's really unfortunate to see. Quinner doing well in P3 until he made that pit stop to the mediums, which really hurt him. Quinner really losing out a lot of time now. Closest battle we have here is Superboy and Petrolhead. About 1 second between them. So to give you a quick update on Tier 1, round 1 of pit stops has now happened in Tier 1. It's Palmer leading to T5. To Swift to Uray, but that might just spice up after the pit cycle. The Audis, of course, really struggling on that tire wear. As Doug Barrow will take you around for a lap of Interlagos in the Mercedes GT3. Really squirrely coming out of the last corner. Going up to the timing line now. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be a 1:32.0, so obviously not a very good lap. Trying to get the tire wear down. As Superboy and Petrolhead still looks like the closest battle we have got here. Doug, of course, gonna be in about 2 to 3 laps to get his middle pit stop done. Tire on the mediums being substantially lower than on the softs, but will it pay off towards the pace deficit that I had on the beginning? The drivers now all really maintaining their gap to try to defend their own position. Petrolhead making a mistake going through turn 3, which cost him about 2 to 3 tenths. Gap staying about the same between these two. They're creating a bit of a bigger gap towards Bar, who is losing a little bit of time towards Petrolhead, as Superboy is losing a lot of time to him now, who comes into the pit lane. So that's a bit early. For the rest, it's really spread out. Superboy now exiting the pit lane. He's gonna get out right alongside B8 UTAP, I think that's gonna be, who might overtake him come the end of the straight. Yep. Superboy, of course, trying to get the undercut on Petrolhead. Try and either get closer or overtaking in the pit cycle. As it's now really spread out. Superboy now really catching up to Quinna. Of course, the new softs are gonna be a lot faster than the old mediums. As in tier 1, it's still a 1-3-4 side max with T5 black splitting him in P2. Palmer leading. As Doug now enters the pit lane, so he's gonna go for new tires and a lot of fuel. Bar's gonna follow him in, so he's gonna get new tires and a bit of less fuel. Actually, Doug saved a lot of fuel compared to Bar. Petrolhead gonna try to go a lap longer. Not sure if he's gonna make it on that fuel. That might be a bit close. He's gonna end up just in front of Doug, who enters the pit lane just back there. Gonna be about 1.2 seconds going into turn 4. 1.3. As Petrolhead runs a little bit wide, costing him a bit of time. Doug now seeing someone in front of him. He hasn't seen that for the whole race. Gonna be a different side. Doug and Bar now nearly on the same fuel, which means that Doug already has a big advantage. Doug catching up to Petrolhead on the old tires, who is really starting to struggle here. About 6.5 tenths as Doug will get the slipstream just before Petrolhead pulls into the pit lane here. As he's really low on fuel with 3 liters left. With Bo also entering the pit lane with a 1.3 second penalty. Quinno, of course, trying to go longer with the mediums to try and let the mediums pay off. As Superboy makes a massive lunge, which does not work. Of course, Superboy getting frustrated about being caught behind Quinno for that long. Just overcooks it going into turn 1. As Petrolhead is now really close to Superboy. Petrolhead having a lot more fuel and new tires, of course, so he is gonna be ahead on strategy. Superboy now really getting impatient, as Petrolhead is just sitting back and watching, waiting for the two to have an incident, as that nearly happens. As it's now really close going to the edge. As Quinna and Superboy make a little bit of contact, which makes Superboy go a bit wider. These three having a real good fight. Can't get out on hair racer saying both saying go Doug go. Of course, as there is a massive incident which sees only Quinna make the corner, where Superboy is only just on track now. So he made a massive lunge in the outside and it did not work. As the two now go alongside, going into turn 4. Petrolhead just getting the position with the new soft tires compared to the old mediums. Quinn might not have the right tires, but he's surely putting on the show that we want. Quinn, of course, trying to hold on to Petrolhead for the straight to get his toe. And try and defend from Superboy. Superboy in his place is trying to catch up to Quinn, to overtake him quick, as he's getting really impatient. It's still Doug and Bar about 8 seconds, as Bar makes a little mistake which costs him even more. It's gonna be 8.1 seconds at the end of the straight, with the Aston Martin being quicker than the Mercedes, of course. And Superboy being really close to Quinn already. Of course, with the better and newer tires. Really no competition against him. As Quinn is trying to fight back, which is great to see, of course. Oh, as Quinn looks up the inside but just can't make it work. The mediums, of course, just don't have enough grip. As Quinn is just losing a lot of time here in this sector. Trying to catch up, just not being able to with the lack of grip on the mediums. Superboy, of course, gonna try to get to Petrolhead, who in his turn is trying to get down the 15-second gap that he has to Bar. As that is IFS, who has already been lapped once by Doug Ware and Bar. IFS not having the ideal race, but he's gonna get some good points by finishing 8th. As Superboy makes another mistake, running way too wide in that corner, costing him a lot of time. And another 5/10 penalty. About 8/10 now between Quinner and Superboy, as Quinner also makes a little mistake, costing him some time as well. So we see the mistakes happening here. Tire wear is getting higher as I get a little bit of lag. As both Fichidoro now also is on the back of Quinn. So it just goes from bad to worst for Quinn. Both Fichidoro are winning out the drag race. As Quinner comes back at him going into turn 1, they're both gonna try to brake as late as possible, as Quinner just has the optimal line on the inside, being able to park it on the apex as he does there, as there's a little bit of contact and Quinner is gonna go off track. Of course, Bo is gonna try to look for another move going into turn 4, as Quinner defends really late. Some really good defending from Quinn here, as he makes a mistake running a bit deep. Quinner really trying to put on the show full stream. as the field is still really spread out, as Bar has made a mistake somewhere. 18-second gap towards Doug Barrow and a 5-second gap to Petrolhead. So Petrolhead's gonna try to push forward to close down the 5-second gap. He lost about 10 seconds somewhere. Why did he do that? That must have been in sector 2, as he has gone 10 seconds slower than the people around him. As Petrolhead now really closing up already. As Quinner is going into the pit stop to change his tires from mediums to, I assume it's gonna be soft, if he wants to keep the pace going. He puts in the fuel to get to the end. As he does switch to the soft, which is the right choice. Both are now getting onto the back of Superboy, who's making a lot of mistakes as well. And Petrolhead getting within the 3 seconds of Bar. Bar will be really feeling the pressure now. As Doug is really confident for this win. Of course, though, I don't want to jinx him, as I said earlier. Nearly 20-second gap, that's gonna take some beating to get down. .3 seconds now, as Petrolhead is really closing in on the Bar. As Bo is within 6/10 of Superboy. As there are blue flags for what I assume is going to be either B8 UTAP or IFS. As they have a little bit of contact, as Superboy brakes really early. As the driver up ahead is indeed going to be IFS. So IFS now going to be lapped by his teammate. As Bo pulls out for a move, brakes really late, parks the bus on the apex and just had a good exit. As Superboy is going to get back at him. Going to try to hang it around the outside, as they are both going to pit soon. Both Shadora actually, he can go on for quite some longer, as Superboy needs to pit soon, as his fuel is running out. Bo really getting a gap out already. Nearly 1.5 seconds. It's probably the tire wear is really kicking in for Superboy. As Petrolhead is now closing up the Bar even more. So. As the tires of Petrolhead are in a much better state than those of Bar. Bar getting a wheel not so long ago. I'm not sure if he's using it right now. A wheel tend to be better on tire wear. As Superboy comes in with 6 liters of fuel. Quinner is gonna look to jump him. As Superboy comes out of the pit quite a long way behind Quinner. So Quinner making up some good ground after losing a lot on the mediums. And now Petrolhead nearly within the 1.5 seconds. As Petrolhead also has got a lot more petrol in his car. So better tires and more fuel, which is gonna mean he is gonna win out in the pit stop. So both of them in now. Doug Barrow is still really having a lot of fuel. Or actually just coming out on 69 liters of fuel, which Harris will probably really like. Barr actually getting out behind Petrolhead, so Petrolhead jumping in the pit stop cycle. So this is going to be interesting to watch. Is Barr going to try to fight back? As Petrolhead instantly tries to break the toe, which is not needed as he's out of the 8/10 gap that you need for the toe. So Petrolhead really looking to push away from Barr now to try and secure the P2, which actually P3 at the moment, with Bo still having to pit as he runs a bit wide. As Barr, Bo and Petrolhead are now really close to each other. So are we gonna see a three-way battle again? Bo, of course, on a lot newer tires with a lot less fuel, so is he even gonna make it to the end? Bo sending it. Oh, he thought about moving around the outside, but it just didn't make it work. A little bit of oversteer as he tries to get on the back of Petrolhead. As Barr now already is also closing up. As the two hit each other, with Barr now really close. As Barr overtakes him around the outside off track. That might be looked into as is overtaking off track, but there's a little bit more contact between Barr and Bo. As Barr nearly spins it after contact, but just about keeps it. Nearly spins it again. So Petrolhead, of course, really gonna try to go away and get away now. As Doug is just looking back and laughing at this with a 22 second gap, which is unbelievable. That just shows you how much the guys here in the midfield are battling and how much that loses you here. Quinner still ahead of Superboy. Quinner will unfortunately have to pit, so he's gonna lose that position. Bofishadar was looking for a move, and Petrolhead just runs a little bit wide, compromising his line. Bo trying to look around the outside, not working, and he does work. Bar also trying to catch up as they have a little bit of door banging, as they are really close to the apex. As they are door banging again as they try to force each other to another line, and contact again at the exact same spot as last lap. Bo now dropping back behind Bar. Looking up the inside but just not making it work. The gap now is really close as they're getting to the straight. Well, of course the Aston Martin is gonna pull away from the McLaren a lot. Fortunately for Bo, Bar's out of the slipstream of Petrolhead, so that might help him a little bit. As he bump drives him, probably thinking that they can catch up to Petrolhead and gain a place from him. As Bo now is really getting low on his fuel. Quinner as well is low on his fuel, so both of them still have to stop. Now again, a gap form. As Superboy is really catching up to Quinner, who is struggling a lot on the older tires. Of course, also yet to come in. So. Quinner now pulling away actually in the second sector. As these three are getting closer again. So are we gonna see the same fight again? Talking at nearly even 24.2 seconds ahead of everyone else. That's some amazing speed shown by Doug. Of course, SDM will be happy with his showing today in the number 13. Both Shadara are now closing up to Bar a bit. As Superboy now is on the back of Quinn trying to defend towards the inside, but Superboy just getting the line a bit earlier. Superboy cutting Quinn off actually. So he's gonna try to get back as Superboy has a little moment off on the exit. Quinn taking a better line but just being compromised by Superboy, who is on the exit. Quinner also having to come in this lap for his fuel. As Bo Shadara now has the fastest lap with 1:31.108. That's a very good lap for in Tier 2. Actually, in contrast, his lap is only 1.2 seconds off of the Tier 1 fastest lap, which put in by TSR T5 Black. who is actually also leading the race to Palmer, Uray, Swift, Cabales, James Head, Splash LTU, S-Team Fiber in P8. Quinner again trying to hold on to the back, as he's probably gonna run out of fuel before the end of this lap, as his fuel is really low. So Quinner probably not notice his fuel meter as he makes a mistake going into this corner. Just try to get it back on the track as he slides again, unfortunately. Bar and Petrolhead now again close. 0.2 seconds. Is Bar gonna try something? Oh, he is gonna send it around the outside as Petrolhead just gets in front of him, as Bar has a little slide there. Bar now in the fast Aston Martin. Of course, gonna try to get him back on the straight. They're going into turn 4 in braking zone, where Petrolhead just about holds on. Comes across him as he runs wide, costing him some time. As Quinner and IFS now come in, so Quinner going for some new tires and probably a little bit of fuel. As once again the two fight. So this is a real close fight. Bar with the 4/10 penalty, Petrolhead with no penalty, as Petrolhead has a lot better exit and gets away. 0.7.5 tenths now is the gap. Come on, Quinner, you got this, yeah. He really had a lot of pace, but unfortunately the medium tires in the last stint just didn't work and he was just sliding around, which made him lose a lot of time. He did put on a really good show for the stream though. Defending and attacking even though he did not have the grip for it. Something we like to see, of course. As Bar runs a little wide to get some extra time, but also runs deep going into the braking zone, costing him some time. So. Well done, Quinner. Yeah, of course. GG's for Quinner for getting on the show for us. Petrolhead now getting a bit of a gap towards Bar, as the gap actually comes down a little bit on the straight. As the drivers now are really spreading out, as Doug has now nearly got a 26-second gap. That is just huge, as the timer is gonna run out in 5 seconds, so this is gonna be everyone's last lap. So the fastest lap is gonna be Bo Fischador with a 1:31. As Quinner now comes across the line after putting on a great show in 6th. Unfortunately not getting what he deserved, but Doug Barrow going on to the last straight now to come across the line as first. doing the team proud and getting some great points. With nearly 26.5 seconds. B8 UTEP comes A as Doug Barrow wins the race. IFS in 8th. As Patrolhead now comes through the last corner. A real big gap. Petrolhead now gonna come in 2nd. About 2 seconds ahead of Bar, who is gonna end in P3 with both for Shidara with the fastest lap with a 1:31.108 going across the line to get P4, with Super Boy being the last across the line to get P5. As he spins across the line. So here are your end results. So well done to Duck and all our drivers, of course. We're now gonna try to get everyone in for the interviews. As we wait for the drivers to join on in. As Duck is the first one to join, so just waiting for Petrolhead and Bar to join as well. Hey. Yeah, just waiting. So we'll start with you. How was that race? Obviously. 26 seconds.
Bar overfueled on the first pit stop.
Yes, he did.
It went well. I don't think I even picked up a penalty. I had a couple of back end moments on the final bend and the one before it. The actual bends, not the kink up the hill. But luckily for me, they were both just before pit stops. So yeah, but it was annoying. I had many laps where I was running purples all the way through to the final bend and just losing it up the hill. So I didn't get the fastest lap, but it was my first pole position that I managed without getting nicked off me right at the end, and just comfortable race. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, the car seemed really unstable as I'm just watching the Tier 1 stream. A lot of people also have issues there. A lot of people also spinning and going into the wall even.
I just don't feel like today, although I did well, my time. And I just feel like I wasn't quite getting the lock that I was getting before. But no, happy with it. I mean, it is those last couple of bends, doesn't take much for it to go wrong. So I was just concentrating more on keeping it on the circuit than anything else.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna move on to Bar. I don't think Petro has joined. I'm not sure if he will join later on. Does anyone know?
He wasn't in our chat, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can try and invite him.
Okay, that's... As Petrohead also joins. So, Petrohead, how was your race? Obviously you had quite a massive fight back after an incident earlier. With both Shidara, I think, who spun UT bone going onto the straight.
Yeah,
from there you fight back.
I didn't have... Well, I had a good initial launch, and then ended up in a 3-wide situation through the SRSs, which didn't pan out brilliantly for me. So I ended up stuck behind the Macca of Boy Shidara, and I just ended up losing time behind him because I knew I was faster. It was just a case of getting past him, which it wasn't easy because I kept having a terrible launch out of the final corner. But yeah, the fight back worked well. I thought I would end up getting the bottom step of the podium. that was on my initial cards, not getting second, which is a good comeback for the championship, really. I would like to say congratulations to Doug on winning the
Thank
race. You.
Yeah, congratulations to all the podium finishers. Of course, you ran wide quite a few times in turn 1. Was there something with the brakes?
Yeah, I tried something different with my brake bias this time, and I think it just took a bit of getting used to. I put them a bit more rearward to try and get a better run through the first chicane. Towards the middle of the stint, when I got used to the fuel and tyres, yeah, I could run through the first chicane pretty well, but it took time.
Yeah, of course, a little tier 1 update as they are finishing the race now. It's T5 Black who wins. Ahead of Palmer, ahead of Uray, ahead of Swift, which is the top 4. So we'll move on to Bar. Bar, how was your race?
I felt decently confident with in practice. Me and Doug pretty much got around the same lap, but during the race I had that one spin that had petrol pretty much copped me and then passed me during the pit, but I'm happy with the 3rd place.
Yeah, one last thing for Doug. Doug, have you had chicken tonight for dinner?
No, why?
As Hair Racer says, well done for Doug, winner winner chicken dinner. And we'll end off on that.
Boy.
Yep.